Today's podcast is brought to you by Gamefly.com. Sign up today for a premium free 30-day, 2-game-at-a-time trial specifically for listeners of Can't Stop Playing. All you got to do is go to www.gameflyoffer.com/ghostrobo and you can get in on the holiday gaming goodness. Again, that's www.gameflyoffer.com/ghostrobo. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, today is Friday, November 27th. Thank God it's Pod Day, and welcome to episode 36 of the Can't Stop Playing podcast. I'm your host, Zach Ghostrobo, and joining me, the peanut butter to my jelly, the rumble to my roll, my favorite co-host, upgraded from guest.
Yeah, it just happened. Hi.
What?
That was weird. The music.
Oh, we have music, yeah.
That was weird.
That was you singing, right? You were making that all with your mouth?
Yeah, it was my beard. Vibrations in my hairs. That's what was happening.
Hairbrations?
Yeah, hairbrations.
A very special type of vibration. A sound quality that can only be established by a man with a beard as illustrious as yours.
Okay. What'd you think?
I like it.
You like it?
I feel at home. I feel like it was like my mom calling me like, Zachary, but this was like the podcast home calling me.
Yeah, we made it last night like in 30 minutes. It wasn't like a long process, but I thought it was fine. I mean, we needed some music.
It's very good.
Yeah, we needed some music.
We did. So that's music time with me and Gabe, and now time for talking time. Gabe, we're now such a dynamic podcast that we have a listening segment. I mean, I guess it's all listening segments, but
yeah, I hope you're listening.
Different kinds of listening. Now you can listen to tunes and talking all at the same time. Anyhow, we have a show for you today. I would say like a big show, but
it's not that big.
It's not that big.
It's not. Let's be honest here.
Gabe has winterized his head
I
over
have
there.
Incredibly messy hair.
It's incredibly cold in Texas, a whopping 60 degrees.
That's cold out here. When it's 60 degrees where I live, people break out the leather jackets and the Uggs. I'm not even kidding.
I had snow all weekend.
Yeah.
It's been 19 degrees the last 3 days in a row.
Yeah.
You can see your breath.
Fantastic.
My left toe froze off. It's gone.
Where'd it go?
It just fell off. Frostbite.
That's not good. Was it black?
No, it's like a really like. You ever seen Blue's Clues?
I have once or twice.
Blue has a friend named Magenta, and it was the color of that friend.
Sure.
And then it just dropped off.
Is Magenta actually magenta? Is that her color?
Yes, she is. A dog named Magenta that is magenta, because like blue is blue, magenta is magenta. It's a world where what you see is what you get, and what you're called is what it is.
Okay, but that makes a whole lot of sense in every single way possible.
So like your name in the Blue's Clues world, your name would be just Father, because that's how I see you.
Father? Yeah, I like it.
What would my name be in a very literal world?
All right, let's see. In a very literal world, Fast Man. I don't know.
Fast Man? Yeah. We were talking about this because Gabe has this like recurring complaint that I walk too fast.
Yeah.
Wherever we go, and we saw a tweet talking about how like kids have to get everywhere fast, and so like that clearly explains it. Yeah. I'm just a permanent kid.
Okay, I'm Father, you're child. There we go.
Yeah, there you go. Gabe, look. See, I knew we were puzzle pieces meant to fit together, and now it's just fully explained.
This is all too perfect. We said this wasn't a big episode. This is a huge episode. Revelations left and right.
Life-defining episode. You're winterizing your head. I've winterized my feet. I got my Taylor Swift blanket covering my leggings. I don't have my Christmas stockings on yet, so my feet are a little bit chilly.
Hold on, I wonder. Do you have the fuzzy sock on you? The purple one?
The what?
Well, you don't. You're gonna. Okay, they're gonna hear you. By the way, don't talk unless you want to be on the podcast. The purple sock, the fuzzy one.
Breaking news here.
You have it on you. Throw it. Here, 1 second.
Okay, we're getting a live breaking update straight from the house of Father.
It's so fuzzy. I don't know if you can. I mean, for those of you that are just listening, this is the fuzziest sock, Zachary. The texture
looks very fuzzy.
It's soft. It's so wonderful. These are
Gabe,
the warmest socks.
I think you need to get a beard guard.
A beard guard?
Like, instead of a scarf, I think you need to have, like, a little, like, you know how, like, if you were going to transport a guinea pig or something, you'd have, like, a little animal carrier? I think you need a beard carrier. So, like, when you go out in the winter, it just, like, sits in this nice, like, fuzzy, warm shell.
I wish it snowed in Texas so that I can have snow on my beard.
Yeah, you'd be like the greatest Santa Claus ever.
I belong in Minnesota. Let's go over there. Let's go hang out by the snow. We'll go to Twin Cities or something. Is that even? Yeah, it's Minneapolis. All right.
Yeah.
So we can go play in the snow, Zachary. I want snow.
What's wrong with Indiana? I have lots of snow here.
I have bad memories of Indiana. I was a Pacers fan growing up, by the way.
No, you weren't. Reggie Miller?
Reggie Miller was my man. You remember when his house got burned down?
No.
Yeah, they like burned down his house because he was like leaving, and it was a whole thing.
I remember when he scored like 13 points in 9 seconds, or 9 points in 13 seconds, or whatever that.
He
crazy.
was a beast with those threes, man. He was Steph Curry before Steph Curry.
I mean, a little less nimble.
Yeah, but still, he was good.
A little more stiff.
Yeah, absolutely. But
anyways, this is a podcast about video games, and before we even get to that, I want to put out the bird call. So, Gabe. Yeah, there we go. We're looking for a new logo for the or actually a logo for the podcast. I'm not sure that we've had one. So if you are someone who is talented at art skills, or if you know someone who's talented at art skills, send us some samples and or an example of a logo and or the logo that you've envisioned all along since you were a baby for Can't Stop Playing. Send it to can'tstopasking@gmail.com, and we'll take a look at all the submissions. And if there's no submissions, then Gabe's going to draw it, and you guys are in for a world of eyesores.
Yeah. If you thought the music was bad, the art's going to be worse.
Exactly. So we've got some games we've been playing. We've got some emails from you. We've got a lightning round and all sorts of segments that you've come to know and love. So let's start off, Gabriel, by talking about what's on everyone's mind.
Turkey. Yeah. Not even Thanksgiving, just turkey.
Well, on my mind is The Good Dinosaur.
Oh, yeah, you're going to go see that, huh? Tonight? First
show in Indiana, I'm going.
Oh, is it like an 8 p.m. one or something?
7:30.
Ooh, I was close.
Got reserved seats and everything. I'm the only person in the theater that has reserved seats.
I hate reserved seating.
Well, I love it because then you can show up late.
Whoa.
I think that's an element. I think the yokai inside yokai watch him come to life.
Oh, no. Put him back in your watch.
Oh, my God. Get in my watch, yokai.
For those of you that are audio only, a poltergeist just appeared out of nowhere and knocked over Zachary's yokai watch game.
That's not a good sign. But yeah, I'm really excited for Good Dinosaur. I'm really excited for Creed, and I'm really excited for Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. Like for me, Thanksgiving is less about the food since I'm a weird grazer. I don't even think of myself as an eater anymore.
I don't like Thanksgiving food. I don't.
So I'm just like all about the movies and the family time.
I'm just gonna lay down for
yeah.
I'm just lay down.
A nice session of laying down. Yeah, well, you deserve it. You've been spending so much time at the gym lately. You're like Rocky or Apollo Creed yourself.
I'm super sore right now. I can barely move.
Can you like lift your arms and do some arm waves?
Here, I will show you. I can lift my arms, right? But right here, it starts hurting. I can get them all the way up, maybe.
Like, no, that's really a good thing.
It's painful.
The more sore you are, the more you know you did a good job. My favorite stretch when you're sore, like, I mean, you know how sore I am with muscles like these, man. It took a lot of time and a lot of toughness to get these, but where you put your hands on like the door frame and then you just like lean into it.
I do that all the time. I can't do it now because it would hurt me.
It's a really good feeling. I like it because it like you can just feel the stretch, like especially in like these muscles here.
When we were at the gym yesterday, I was working out with a good friend of mine, known him since we were 4 years old. He's buff. He's big, fantastic shape, good looking guy. But it's hard to keep up with him. It's really hard because I'm not that. I'm none of those things. So he's over there lifting, X amount of weight. I can only do half of that weight because I'm in terrible shape. But and he was all about having the correct form, the 90-degree angles and everything. It was tough. It was tough to keep up. It took like 2 hours, 2.5 hours maybe. The whole workout. It was a whole ordeal. It was. I want to do it again. I'm gonna do it again tomorrow.
Are you?
I gotta go run or something right now so I can like limber up. But none of this has anything to do with video games.
There's just a whole lot out new. We'll talk about Xenoblade Chronicles X and a little bit more about Battlefront, and then I think we're gonna move into some holiday gaming memories before we hit up lightning round and emails. But I played the first hour or so of Xenoblade. You've played quite a bit more than that.
I've played 4 hours. Not that much more.
This is the Wii U's like. I mean, if you weren't super hyped by Mario Tennis Ultra Smash or Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, which got some of the worst reviews Nintendo games have received this generation.
What, the mobile? Wait, what'd you say?
Mario Tennis and Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival?
Okay, no, neither of those are mobile games. Yeah, those got terrible reviews.
Yes, they did. But Xenoblade, on the other hand, is apparently a very great game.
Couple of things that I want. Whoa, what is this? Why does this sound super loud all of a sudden? Okay, I think we're okay. All right, so a couple of things. People say that the world in Xenoblade is bigger than Fallout and The Witcher 3 combined. Which is, I don't know how
madness.
I don't know how true this is. People on NeoGAF, we both love NeoGAF quite a bit. They swear by it. The game's been on in Japan for a while. For those of you that don't know, it's an action RPG, Japanese, made by Monolith Soft. I hate that they changed their name. They added the soft. But
Gabe, it was too hard before. They were too hardcore.
So they've gone softer?
They've softened it up just so that they can appeal to everyone now.
Even this game's a little hardcore.
It is very hardcore.
It is. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. It's too hardcore, some might say.
Too hard. But you've liked it so far.
I love it. I think it's great. I think it makes some of the same errors that Fallout 4 makes, in which it just doesn't explain itself very well. Like, there's things in Fallout 4 that are important parts of the game that are just never told to you. Same with this. Like, the game doesn't tell you how to do a whole lot. I was lucky enough I was streaming, and people were able to help me out there, telling me what to do, because they played a lot of the original. I didn't play a lot. I played just a little bit of the original when it came to 3DS. It's fun. Here's one thing. How can the game be so pretty and so ugly at the same time? Because the beginning, right? Like, the first cutscene and the character creation, it doesn't look great. I'm like, ugh.
No.
You know, the way you're showing his age. But once you get to, like, the open world, it looks beautiful. It really does. I mean, obviously, you can tell it's on a PS4 and Xbox One, but the world looks beautiful, and it's very polished as far as the open world goes. The character design, very Japanese, and it feels like a Gundam game to me.
I think what they do really successfully is, like, scope and scale wise, they kind of do the scalebound thing where you're seeing a lot of the world on your screen and your character is relatively small. So you get like this like wow moment where, like, in Fallout, granted it's a first person game, but you can't see a whole lot of your surroundings, right? Like you only have like a window into the world that's as big as, you know, your vision cone. But in Xenoblade, as in when I saw the live demo of Scalebound, it's like bam, like the whole map is out in front of you and laid out, and that starting area where you have the choice to, like, you can dive off this cliff or you can walk along the path. It's pretty impressive just to see, like, the topography, if we want to use really academic words here, of the world, of this planet, and to see, like, wow, there's like all these like creatures over here, and there's people whose spaceship have crashed here, and there's like you know, an ocean down here, and like I found that to be really kind of really beautiful.
There's a lot of systems in the game. Like I was saying, it doesn't explain. The battle system, it never like stops you and explains.
Really? Because I started off and I'm like, it tells me how to attack, but I'm like, ooh, I could click on this, I could click on this. What is this yellow circle that fills up? Does that make the attack more powerful? I'm like, it'll probably tell me later, but it doesn't.
It does. No, it doesn't. And also, like, you have a party, and your party member will be like, please heal me. I don't know how to heal anyone. I think I have an idea now, but it was never told to me. Somebody told me on the stream.
Do you know what the yellow bar that fills?
What?
There's like bar, because okay, this game is kind of like a real-time turn-based combat. So like you're not directly activating attacks like B is swing your sword or something, but there's no stoppage in action. Like it's more like almost like a Final Fantasy 13-ish system.
Yeah.
You're like queuing, you're picking attacks, but it's happening almost like MMO or Final Fantasy 13 style. But like you can pick to throw, you have like this fire grenade, incendiary grenade, and you can pick to use it, or like there's a meter around the circle that fills up.
That's just the time that it takes to refill for you.
No. But like there's another circle meter that's like filling up that I'm assuming is like if you wait to use it, it's more damaging, because I can use it before that thing fills up.
Oh, you're talking about the green one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. See, I thought at first that's when you could use it again, but it's really not.
No.
I don't know what it is. And then sometimes because you can switch weapons.
Right.
Like on the fly, which, again, the game doesn't, like, it's right on the screen, so yes, the game tells you, but it's so small and off to the corner, and it never draws any attention to it.
I have noticed that, and this is kind of like a tangent, but it's like a hard game to view. Like, I was like, I feel like I want to be like 2 inches from the screen, because there's like so much
Yeah, there's a lot
like
going
verbiage everywhere. But like with that battle system, do you know what happens or why you get those prompts where all of a sudden it's like press B when the circle gets like the concentric circle, like the QTE?
I think those end up doing like critical hits there, and
just random how they pop up.
I don't know which. I don't know. Like I'm telling you, this thing doesn't explain any of this.
Very confusing. I mean, I don't like hand holding, but I would like at least a little information of like, why is this happening? But I think the story setup is cool. Like Earth has gotten caught in the crossfire of these two warring alien factions. So everyone had to get the hell out of there, and they've gotten out of there. And now the White Whale is the only ship, or one of the only ships that's made it. You wake up out of stasis, kind of similar to Fallout. And they're like, hey, come with us. And then from there, the rest is monsters and massive landscapes.
Well, I mean, there's a alien race that's, they live on that planet, and now we're just sort of there, and they don't probably want us there, and the whole thing is going. I mean, the scales. I don't know if you have a scale yet, but those things are crazy. Like, I don't know. There's a lot in the game. I don't know. Hold my hand a little bit. Like, don't hold my hand, but just like guide it in the right direction, maybe.
Do you feel like at this point, 4 hours in or however far you are, like, do you have like an understanding of like what's going on? Or are you still just like,
well, I have an understanding because you got to pick a job. Systems. Did you pick a job?
No, I literally got to the point where you walk into the crash ship and I fell asleep.
Okay, fan. You fell asleep, not the character.
Yeah.
Zachary fell asleep. No, well, you got to pick a job. They give you like 9 jobs to choose from, which is, give me like 3 or 4. Like, I don't know. Like, people like complain about like a game not giving you a lot of options. This game gives you a lot of options. All right, so they tell you, okay, here are 9 jobs. You got to pick one if you want to join us. And then they tell you, don't worry, you can always change the job. And even if your job specializes in a certain thing, it doesn't mean you can't do other things. Because there is side missions, there's NPCs. It's a very RPG. So whatever job you end up picking, your character's sort of guided towards that. But, you can pay in-game currency to change. What was the original question? I don't know why I got into the job thing.
Do you understand what's going on?
Oh, yes, I do understand what's going on. Once you pick the job, you start meeting the NPCs, your side quests are going, you're told, okay, go out here, do this because of what, I don't want to get into spoilers, for whatever reason, and then you go from there. So it's pretty easy to follow along. Okay. I fully know why we're doing everything we're doing. It's not like a menial task, nothing like that.
I mean, they are setting up like an 80 to 100 hour game or whatever, similar to the first one. This isn't like a medium or even a long affair. This is like a life commitment. So it feels like, I mean, right from the start, you're collecting all of these items. I have no idea what any of them mean. There's like chests around the world that you can open up. You're getting stuff from winning battles. There's experience points. It's very dense from the get-go, and it does like worry me. And like, why would they not explain themselves more? I mean, this game was never going to sell well, I don't think.
Yeah.
Just because it's so...
I mean, it got a sequel.
Yeah,
I think the original cracked $1 million, on the Wii. That's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, it's just not going to like... It's not targeting a massive demographic.
No, absolutely not. And you want to get mad about upgrades? Like, this thing has so many different upgrades, and again, doesn't explain them very well, because you can upgrade your skills, you have attributes, you have a different subclass, and from there you do upgrades on each of those. You can upgrade all your skills, and your attributes is a separate thing from your skills. Like, there's a lot. There's so much. And on top of that, armor, weapons, basic RPG stuff.
The more you talk about, the less interested I am in playing. Just because,
not because it's bad, because I'm pretty sure that it's just not what you're like. You don't have the time to play a 100-hour game.
Yeah, and I think sometimes these games that like pack in all these systems, sure it's cool and sure it's impressive for the right crowd, but to me it's like, why am I doing all of this? Like, I guess it gives you a personalized experience, but personally, I would rather go and play like a Tales RPG, like Tales of Zestiria, the new one. Why?
Yeah,
because that game is much more straightforward. The leveling up system is much more...
leveling up in this is super straightforward. It's just like the upgrades.
But like even the combat there, like you're picking skills. It's a much more tactile combat because like you use the sticks to like activate moves, and it moves at a pace that sure you have flexibility and sure you can collect stuff and sure you can grind, but at least from the ones I've played in the past, it's still like catering to the player in the sense like, hey, we're taking you on this ride, as opposed to the sense I got from Xenoblade when I played is like, bam, game opens up, like, go to town. There's a billion things to do and a billion stats and a billion options and a billion whatever. And like, to me, that's just incredibly intimidating.
But the thing is that once you understand it, it clicks. It's good. Like, not that I understand every system in the game necessarily, but I understand enough of it to where, like, okay, I really like this.
But how hard would it be for them to throw a screen in there that says, like, when the green circle fills up, that means that your attack is supercharged?
What somebody told me was to read the game manual. So maybe I need to do that.
A digital manual we have to read?
Huh?
It's a digital manual because there's no manual.
Yeah, I know. We got the disc on it. So, we got to read a digital manual. Which, I mean, whatever. You pause the game. It's right there. Just look at it.
I'm going to play more of it. I want to get like a good chunk of it so I can give a solid impression because it is probably the biggest. I'm trying to think what else came out for Wii U this year that would be bigger.
Bigger? No, nothing.
I mean, obviously from an hour count, but Splatoon, I guess, is kind of the tentpole release for.
How big is Splatoon? How big is Splatoon? Like, I don't know what you mean by big.
Just like
because Super Mario
popular,
Maker's a bigger game.
Hyped.
Super Mario Maker.
Yeah. Okay. So Mario Maker, Splatoon, and this are probably the big three for Nintendo. But I do want to play more. I was really excited to play it, and I watched the cutscenes. Like, dang, this is like a cool premise. And then I got in the world, and I was like, right from the start, like all the enemies are highlighted, all the chests are highlighted. There's like a billion pips on your mini map, like right from the get go.
Well, the enemies like, you're not supposed to just fight all of them.
I didn't know like how many am I supposed to be fighting? How many am I not supposed to be fighting?
However many you want. There's some that will attack you, and
I hate not knowing. Like, is this a disservice to my character? Do I need to be grinding this out? Do I need this?
Well, because before you fight every enemy, like it tells you what level the enemy is. All right, so if you're level 6 and the enemy in front of you is level 14, you probably don't want to mess with him. So you can run by him, and most of the time, those higher level enemies, they don't just blatantly attack you. It's the smaller, more pesky ones that go out of their way to attack you. So I don't know, fight as many as you feel like you need to level up consistently and to be able to keep doing upgrades. For instance, I found a lot of weapons that I just can't equip yet because I'm not high leveled enough. So things like that, if you want to grind out a little bit to be able to equip that better equipment that you found, well, I mean, you can do that. There's plenty of opportunity out there. Endless enemies, pretty much. The bosses, man, the scale of some of these enemies is huge. There's some big dudes. Like, they're like not robot. They're like dinosaur aliens. That's what they look like. There was one that looks like
almost like a Horizon feel to some of the enemies.
Yeah, for sure. A Horizon or Scalebound is what a lot of people compare it to. Obviously, this is a Wii version, but I don't know. I had a lot of fun with it. I want to play a lot more of it. I think I might just like maybe not even record anymore. Just sit down and play it. But it's hard when I haven't finished Fallout. Like,
that's just something I've run into. It's like I have so many games going on. I get paralyzed. Like, I don't even know which one to finish first. I want to finish them so you don't like lose track of the storyline. I've got Tomb Raider, Black Ops still to wrap up. Last couple missions there, Fallout, and it's just it's.
And then the fact that it's like holiday and like you legitimately want to do things like with your family and that aren't like you. Everyone wants to step away from work for a little bit. And, to us, like technically, I guess this is work. So like I want to step away from a computer. Like, that'd be nice.
I did have this moment where I woke up today and I was like, again, like a first world problem for sure. I was like, man, like my girlfriend woke up and she was playing Fallout 4 and I was like, how cool would it be to just like wake up and like play the game? Like, oh, I have to go set up my equipment. I have to record it. And like, it is a different,
because it's very specific. I mean, we don't talk about our channels all that much on here, but specifically what you did with Fallout, I sort of wish I did, where you said, hey, I've given you like 10 videos of this, you're good to go. I'm gonna go play and then I'll check back in at some point. So you can just go play as much of it as you want and not worry about having to talk the whole time. Not worry about your people criticizing for your decisions along the way. I don't know. I think that's a pretty good setup you have there for Fallout specifically. I think
for sure. I have been playing more Battlefront. I'll touch on it briefly. I think that game is a whole bunch of fun. I know it's been criticized and kind of questioned for its content and whatnot, but I love the fact. My brother Jake, he came home from college and I said, oh, like, have you heard much about Battlefront from people at school? And he said, yeah, they just said it's like Battlefield with Star Wars. And I was like, it is not at all. And I love that it's not. I love that it sits in this more casual space because for me, it's way less stressful to play Battlefront knowing like it's okay if I'm like 18 and 18 as long as I'm contributing to the objective. Because like a lot of those modes, like heroes versus villains, you're trying to throw yourself at the heroes or villains to deal damage and chip away at them. And so it's okay if you have more deaths than kills. Yeah. And I really just like I got the opportunity to play Heroes vs. Villains with 2 other people that I knew, and so like
so salty you didn't invite me to, by the way. What? I mean, I know it's only 3 people. I saw the tweet, and I saw who you said you were playing with someone and their brother. I'm like, man, I didn't get an invite. That's cool. That's cool.
Sorry, me, you, and Jake can play next.
No. I don't like this. You already excluded me. I want no part of this now.
I'm allowed to have 2 groups of 3. I can have 2 threesomes whenever I want.
I know. I'm joking.
All right, Father.
I don't know. I don't want to play it that much anymore. I'm cool. I've had enough Battlefront.
Heroes vs. Villains, I think, is still super awesome.
It is.
But I think when they integrate more heroes, more villains, more maps, like I think that game will have more legs than I initially thought. I came on here last week and was like, I don't know. I think it's going to be the shortest lived game. But actually, like, for a game like, hey, like I can sit down and casually just play a few rounds, talk while I'm doing it. It doesn't require the immense focus that like Black Ops 3 does. I really like it for what it is, and it's quickly climbing my my like game of the year charts.
That's ridiculous in my mind. Like for me to feel that way, that would be I can't.
Top 10 even.
I don't know, maybe top 10, but we had this conversation. I don't know if it was on the podcast or not.
I think it was. You hate lists.
Yeah, fuck off.
I did play a new game though this week.
What
Overwatch.
Game? You played Overwatch.
I wanted to talk about this because I went in. I hated it at PAX East. I played for like 5 minutes. They rush you in, they rush you out. I had no idea what was going on. I was like, this is so confusing, so overwhelming. It was some like terrible mode and map where the character that places the turret would just set the turret up and you just run and die. And it was horrible and just bad. I think that game is awesome.
Like, I've seen a whole lot of it. I don't know if I got a code. I probably should have checked. I don't even know if I signed up for the beta. I want to play it, but I've seen a lot of Twitch streams and it looks freaking awesome. I can't wait.
There's something, I can't even place it directly, but there's something about the polish and the interface and just like the look and the aesthetic of the game that is so exciting. Like the characters are so cool. Like you want to be every single one. And it must just be Blizzard's design. You know, they do a great job with like the cutscenes in StarCraft and Warcraft, and even Hearthstone is such an inviting presentation to it. Like one more game. And the matches in Overwatch are really quick. They've done this interesting thing that I don't know if any other shooter has done, but they consider an elimination anytime you contribute to a kill. So you don't have to be the person that kills them for it to count as a kill, like what they're calling kills.
Okay.
They also track final blows, which is what like Call of Duty or Battlefront would consider a kill. But it's interesting that they chose to almost casualize and really up the team aspect by saying anytime you contribute to a kill, it's an elimination, which I think is like a super interesting decision that has paid off for them.
Assists are dumb.
But it's not assists.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Wait, what do you mean?
So they got rid of assist. The assist stat is gone.
That's what I'm saying. Assists are dumb. I like what you're saying.
Yeah, okay. But like just the variety of the characters, and I like that they've boiled it down to like very specific skills that all feel very different. And my initial worry, and I talked about this before, was like, I don't know how you're going to fare when you can come up against a character and be like, I don't really know what they're doing. It's a lot easier than that because it's not free for all. So you are, moving with your team. And for the most part, it's like projectiles are flying at you or gunfire's flying at you. It doesn't really matter who's dishing it out as long as you know what, kill that thing and dodge that thing. That's really all you have to know. So that problem has kind of been, thrown out of the window. But I just like the whole style, the maps are super gorgeous. There is a lot of like interesting environmental touches in the maps that I think are really special. So there's one that's like a combo. It's called King's Row, and it's a combo of like Dishonored and BioShock. It has a really nice feel. Like there's just so much. It just oozes like personal touch. Like they clearly like dove in and did everything they could to make every aspect of it really finely produced. And it has that Blizzard feel that you get from all their other titles. And I think it'll end up being incredibly successful from the sheer fact that it's super fun to play in like that short burst. Like you get in and you get out. The matches, there's a couple different modes, but they range from like 2 minutes to 7 minutes.
Yeah, but this is beta. Presumably the game's going to have a lot more in it, especially because they're selling it for $60 at retail for consoles.
Which that is what I was going to get to, which I think is weird.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? This is beta, so whatever you're seeing is a super limited amount. I think Blizzard, they're smart at Blizzard. They didn't try to sell Hearthstone for $60 because they know why. I think there's something else to this that we don't know about quite yet that will make it worth the $60. They're not going to sell you what you're currently playing for $60.
And there's no single player, so like that isn't a deal. But I mean, to feel justified at 60 compared to like Battlefront and stuff, they're going to need a heck of a lot more than they've got going on. But one thing that I do think, and if we consider these like hero shooters as a genre, one thing I think that they do smarter, better, stronger than like Battleborn or some other games, mid-match you can switch characters, which I think is like
Can you
glorious.
do that with the specialist in Black Ops?
No.
Really?
Black Ops, you select a specialist before the match, and you select which of their powers you want to use.
Yeah.
So even in Black Ops, in Battleborn, and I understand why they would make that choice. But I think the fact that in Overwatch you can go in the spawn area at any time after any death, or even if you just run back there, switch characters, it's really, really cool. And I was going to make videos just like focusing on one character, and I read a really interesting comment. Someone said like, hey, I've played a lot of Overwatch. I've watched a lot. Part of the strength of this game is that you can adjust on the fly depending on what your team needs and depending on how the battle's going. And I thought about that. I was like, dang, that's a really cool concept. Because say you go into a match and with MOBAs, with Evolve, with Battleborn, with all these games, you're locked into what you've selected. And sure, there are advantages to that and design choices that clearly are benefited by that. But here, like the fact that I can go in and like, hey, like I'm going to be a healer because our team's getting crushed at the front lines, or I'm going to go and be, a sniper because they're just sitting back and I can pick them off. Or, there's one mode where it goes from you have to capture a point and then escort a payload. So it would make perfect sense to like be one character while you're capturing a point and then changing when you need to escort the payload to fit the situation. I just thought that was like a pretty cool touch. I've been immensely impressed. It genuinely makes me scared for Battleborn. Battleborn is a much more complex game with the skill tree and the fact that you are leveling up mid-match and making those choices. And a lot of the different permutations are numerical. So like, oh, I want plus 12% to this, or I want plus, I feel like that is harder for, Joe Gamer to understand and feel
You mean
good
General
about.
Joe, right?
I mean, who?
Our good friend, General Joe.
Oh, General Joe, yeah. It's a lot harder for that kind of a person to just feel cool with than, hey, I pick my character, here's his skills. Oh, I don't like him, I'm going to switch to a different character.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I cut you off there, buddy. Can two people have the same hero?
Yes, and you could have the entire team have 6.
Really?
Yeah.
See, because
Now-
that... Go ahead.
Something that they do that I think is smart is on the selection screen before the match starts. It will tell you like not enough offensive heroes, or like you don't have any supports, and so it is kind of giving you like suggestions for how you should build your team, or what you should pick, which I think is interesting. But go ahead, what were you going to say about that?
A couple of games that are similar to this, but not really. Paladins, which I played last week, which is very, very similar.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. There, I don't like that. The hero I like, which is, I believe his name is Pip. He's a small fox. He has a little grenade launcher, and I like his abilities. If someone goes and picks him before me, that's it. I can't be Pip. So I'm stuck being one of these other heroes that I don't necessarily like or even know how to play all that well. Same with Smite. Smite to a lesser extent. Smite and Overwatch, I don't think they're similar at all. But I like playing as Thor. And not that Thor's super popular anymore, but in the beginning when Vanilla Smite was out, if I wanted to be Thor and somebody else picked Thor, I'm screwed. I don't know how to play anyone else. And in these games, the characters are so specialized. So I like here that you're free to do what you want. Okay, so let's say I don't know any of the characters' names. So let's say Bob. We have too many Bobs on the team. Somebody switch out. No, we don't have enough Bobs. I mean, we have too many Bobs. We don't have enough Sammys. So somebody go be Sam. I wish I knew the names in Overwatch. I don't. I want to play it. I really don't. I should check if I have a beta code.
And they have like an ultimate move. And they feel good. And I think because the game is so focused solely on, well, not solely, but a lot more on kind of like that Twitch-based shooter aspect. It's not the same game as Paladins or as Battleborn. Like they all kind of, while they're in the same genre as an overarching, concept, they do fit in their own little nook and feel like they occupy their own space. I think they can exist simultaneously. I think they will all be compared for better or worse.
Paladins is pretty similar, but Paladins is free to play. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing about this, and I'm curious when you play it if you feel it, because I think it's like it's an intangible feeling that like this is super accessible and super exciting and super polished right from the start. And I'll give you an example. When you load into a match, there's a 60-second countdown timer before the match starts. And that's a great chance for you to check out the characters, use their moves, see what they do. And within that room, almost everything is destructible. So you can pop the glass on the vending machines and all like the snacks and the drinks will fall out. You can destroy like the arcade machines and the glass will crack and the screen will die out. And like it oozes kind of charm and sort of Blizzard, like they've put their like paste on it that, yeah.
Okay, Paladins had something very similar where, let's say you pick a hero or a character. I don't know what they call it. I don't think they call them heroes. But you pick a character that maybe you've never played before. So you get, it's not 60 seconds, but I think it's maybe like 10 or 15 seconds before the match starts where you are in this one room and there's like targets that you can shoot at. So check out all your abilities because, okay, you got to see how these at least work. Right. Same with the gun. These are like traditional guns. One of them has like a bow and arrow. Another one has a grenade launcher. There is one that has traditional guns. So you got to see how all these things feel. So you're in a room and you can just shoot around or whatever. So it does give you that same amount of time to sort of be acquainted with the character before you get out there and try to do your thing. So, I mean, there's definitely similarities between Paladins and Overwatch, I think Overwatch looks a lot better. I think Paladins plays just fine. But I don't know. I think Paladins being free to play is good. I think their track record over there is very good because the creators of Paladin, they created Smite, they created Tribes. They have a good track record. They don't have a good track record as far as supporting their games because once one of the games sort of becomes overshadowed by another one that they just put out, they abandon the other one. Like Tribes was cool until Smite came out, and then they gave no dams about Tribes. And I don't think Paladins overtakes Smite because, completely different genre. But it's going to be interesting. Hopefully they can continue to support both.
One thing that does worry me, and I wonder if they will address it, there's no progression in the game whatsoever. Even Paladins has sort of that card system where you are acquiring things, and they just added an update where now you can use like in-game currency to buy chests and stuff. Yeah. There's nothing like that in Overwatch. I don't know if it'll come to the full version, but like something in terms of like a meta where you're leveling up the character, unlocking stuff, even if it's skins.
It's going to happen, dude. It's going to happen.
Because there's no loadouts, there's not any choice. Like even though in Battleborn you're not leveling up, you are unlocking a meta for that character where eventually you'll have like 3 skills to choose from along that skill tree. They need something so it doesn't run into that Battlefront thing where it's like, I'm not really playing for anything, I'm just playing because. I do like this a lot more than Team Fortress. I had a really hard time finding the joy in Team Fortress. It is incredibly fast-paced. That's something that is going to take me a while to get used to, not playing PC games. Like, there's times where like I'm up in a guy's face and I'm like, he is moving way too fast. I lose track of where he is positionally, and I'm sure that's more on me than the game. But yeah, I really like it. I've been blown away by how much fun it is, and like it's really a cool. Everything about it just screams like we know what we're doing, and I think that's what I like the most is that you don't feel like we talked about sometimes in Xenoblade or Fallout. You're like, what were they doing? Or never do I feel like this is wrong. There's a character named Junkrat, and he is a crazy explosives demolition man, and he has flaming hair. And his attack, just to give you an idea, he shoots grenades, right?
Yeah.
That's his basic generic attack. And then his special attacks are he throws a bear trap down that locks characters in place. Great team use because you can lock someone in place and then have someone else just shoot him and kill him. He also throws a detonating mine that he can detonate with left trigger if you're using a controller. And then his ultimate attack, he deploys a exploding wheel that you can drive around and then detonate and blow up in a huge radius. So like, just to give you an idea of how diverse and exciting and almost superhero-esque the characters are, they like knock that out of the park. And even though it doesn't have the tactile feel of like a Call of Duty or even, like Destiny in terms of like the feedback on the guns, it's very fun to play all the characters and use their weapons, which is something I think Battleborn does struggle with. I don't feel like there's really any impact in any of the weapons. Whether you're using a sword, you're firing magic, or you're shooting a gun, it all feels the same.
Yeah. It's all the reticle.
Overwatch does a better job. Again, it doesn't have like Half-Life feedback on the guns, but it does a better job of conveying like, this is a big guy with a tanky weapon. This is a lithe ninja who, another character I played, Genji. He throws ninja stars. Okay, he can throw them with right trigger 3 in a row in a line, left trigger 3 in a row, like horizontally, like a spread. He can run on walls and double jump, which no other character can do. He's able to dash with his sword, his ultimate. He goes into a melee mode where he two-hands the sword and just slashes like crazy. So a lot of diversity. And where before I thought that would be a weakness, like it's definitely a plus, especially since you can switch mid-match. Like that makes it a lot of fun. Like, crap, I'm getting killed by the sniper. I know the counter. I'm going to switch it up, go in there and take her out. Like that. Very smart design. Blizzard is great. And I can't wait to play more.
Eat your words, Zachary. You said it sucked and it's
good. I did think it was going to suck. And now I'm concerned and I'm curious how Battleborn is going to use its like 3 or 4 month delay, if they're going to do anything to sort of like modify / improve / take feedback and cultivate that game. Because frankly, my biggest concern for Battleborn is that it's too complicated to be mass market.
It's not that complicated.
But for the console player,
I mean, I guess. I've played it a few times. I don't find it to be that complicated.
But you and I also didn't find Evolve to be complicated. And plenty of people found that to be impossible.
Evolve? What's impossible about Evolve?
I guess you're right. How they were just chasing the monster in circles. They never got any progress. It was so frustrating and hard.
I don't know. Evolve's not a hard game.
It's not a hard game, but I think the concept of it is not point, shoot, kill.
Yeah, it's not a traditional concept. You're right.
And Battleborn, you have to worry about leveling up your character and picking the skills. And I do think that Battleborn, and I love Battleborn, so I'm sounding negative, but you guys know I love it. I think they need to work on their player feedback for what's happening on screen. You'll get blinded, you'll get smashed, and everything feels the same. It's like you're running in neutral constantly, no matter what happens. I think they need to work on impact and relating what's happening on screen to your hands.
Yeah.
Whether it's even just like adding more rumble, I don't know, but something needs to be done there to make it more tactile. Anyways, Overwatch is super cool. It's gorgeous. I love the character designs, and like I can't wait to dive through all of them and find out who I like. And for a beta, the fact that they have like 20, super cool.
Yeah, good time to be a purely multiplayer. Like if you're a gamer that just loves multiplayer game. I can't talk right now because I hear myself. If you're a gamer that loves multiplayer games like exclusively and you're sort of sick of single player traditional stuff, you can play Battlefront, you can play Overwatch, you can play Paladins. Paladins is free, the other ones aren't. And even Battleborn is coming. That's super multiplayer centric. Yeah. So, and if you like single players, you still got Fallout, you still have Rise of the Tomb Raider, you still have Halo. Like there's a lot of stuff, and it's very well rounded, and all of it, in my opinion, is quality. Even Xenoblade Chronicles, I like it a lot. I like it. Yeah. Yes, it's complex. Yes, it might take you a little while. You might have to go read up a FAQ or something. But once you get into it, once it all makes sense, it just clicks. And I feel like that's the experience a lot of people are having with Fallout, and I think it'll be the same with Xenoblade. But Zachary, I have a question.
Can I say one more thing?
Say it.
I'm interested. All of a sudden, there's an echo.
Your echo? My echo?
My echo. But I think it's because you're prepping something.
No. I'm not doing
All of a sudden,
anything.
I can hear myself.
How bad?
Very bad. Now it's gone. Okay. thought you were inside my head for a second there, Gabe. Anyhow, what I want to say is Battleborn has invested a lot of resources, time, and money on developing a campaign, and I'm curious to see if that pays off for them in comparison to like these other games that are exclusively multiplayer only, because they're very much keen on harping the fact that we have a full suite of like co-op, campaign, storyline, and multiplayer.
And I'm going to ask you this because you know this better than me. Campaign how? Is it a traditional campaign? Story, everything.
Story, cutscenes, you will be fighting bosses that then you unlock as characters to play as. Like,
okay.
It's trying to be a much more well-rounded package than a lot of the multiplayer-only stuff we've seen.
Okay.
Because it's not multiplayer only. You can play those things solo or co-op.
Yeah, so I'm excited to find out more about it. Hopefully the extra time is what they need to figure out what they're going to do. Maybe learn from some of the stuff that other games are doing, like you said, or take some feedback. So now, how about you get that live read ready? I play this other musical drop, and then we come back and talk about our Thanksgiving memories, our holiday plans.
We talk about GameFly.
Yeah, well, that's the live read. I'm saying I'm gonna play the music. We're gonna come back. You do the live read, which is the gameplay thing, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
Here, this one I don't like as much, but whatever.
Okay.
Go. You're good.
Gabriel.
Zachary. I like the music. Okay, I don't like that musical interlude. I like having music though.
Why are you so critical of music? It's good. Stop
because I had a part in it.
You're like a psycho. You're like one of those psycho artists.
I'm like the witch.
Like, my painting's terrible, and everyone's like,
I'm like the witch.
I would love it. It belongs in the gallery, and you're like, it's terrible. Like I hate it. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, we've had this talk.
You relax. You need a massage. I'm gonna sign you up for a massage package. Okay.
Do it. No,
I'm also gonna sign. I'm gonna sign your children up for this new service I found out about. Gabe, I know you have a lot of kids, and
I have too many.
It's almost Christmas time, and they need a lot of games, and there's so many. Like I know that little Charlie wants to play Splatoon. Yeah. I know that Juanita is really big into Fallout.
That Juanita, yeah, she loves it.
I know that Balboa is like really hardcore into the handheld stuff.
He's Balboa. He's good with his hands. He likes doing things with his hands.
Right, so that's why handheld works for him, because he can hold the game in the palm of his hands and feel like he's a part of the world.
Yeah, he'll go to the gym, he'll hit a punching bag, and he'll have his.
I've been impressed because like most kids his age can't really like do a whole lot, but like the fact that he can lift up your entire computer desk with all the stuff on it, like that kid, he's going to be special. But with all those special kids, like you want to give them games.
I do.
But you lost your wallet last week, and so you couldn't even afford your own games. So how are you going to buy games for all your kids?
I don't know. I haven't found the wallet. Maybe you can help me out again. You did a great job of helping me last week. I think that solution last week worked quite well. Do you think maybe that could help me in this
Gabe,
situation?
I have another solution for you this week.
Okay, what is it?
Gamefly.com.
Gamefly.
They can supply all your children. Okay, Charlie, Juanita, and Balboa with the games they want, plus maybe even something that you could enjoy, Gabe.
Maybe if I just enjoy the time of my kids being distracted.
Yeah, then you and your wife can go and do all the special things you like to do in the snow, make snow angels.
We don't have enough kids. Okay, let's not say that.
Oh, you could go make more kids. Yeah, that's an idea as well. Use that free time to expand the family. Yeah. Anyways, gameflyoffer.com/ghostrobot. You can get a very exclusive free 30-day trial, 2 games at a time, no commitment necessary, no dollars spent. If you lost your wallet like Gabe, that's okay.
If you have a lot of kids like I do, you can't
a lot of
buy
kids
them all
like
games.
Gabe, maybe you're a kid yourself. Either way, gameflyoffer.com/ghostrobot. Get that 30-day free trial. Perfect time. All the stuff that we talked about is available there. You can play it. If you like it, you can keep it for a reduced price. And if you have a huge family like Gabe, now you can go make snow angels and more children.
Snow angels in Texas. What a time to be alive, Zachary. What, you don't like that?
I love it. I think it's perfect. We're good. All right.
So,
I mean, if I was the company sponsoring this thing, I would like quadruple our earnings. I don't think anyone can do a better job.
I think people like our ads.
I think we have great ads. I think we need to do ads for more things besides GameFly. Like I want to do some like, I don't care. Like if it's socks or if it's like shaving kits.
MeUndies. Have you heard about that?
Audible.
MeUndies. I want to do ads for MeUndies.
I don't want to do MeUndies.
They're
I don't
nice.
like underwear. I wear boxers. Is there Me Boxers?
Yes. Okay. Well, they're still called MeUndies. MeUndies is just
I don't understand why you don't just go to the store and buy underwear. Like, why do you need a subscription service to send you underwear?
Have you seen how much these underwear are? These are not cheap underwear.
Okay. Well,
let's not talk about them just in case they do sponsor us one day.
Okay. Well, we're going to cut this part out, so don't worry at all.
All right.
All right. So now we're going to go into, a little like holiday memory stuff, and then we'll wrap up with emails, and then I got to get out of here.
Mm-hmm. Do it.
Okay. And we're back. We got musical interludes. We got ads. We got the best 2 people that you could spend your holiday weekend with. So speaking of holidays, Gabe, regale me with tales of holiday memories in the Gabe household.
All of them are from when I was like super young, back when holidays were like still a thing that mattered.
No, they don't matter anymore?
Not to me, no. I have no kids.
What about all your kids?
I have no real kids. I mean, I guess it would be different, like if I did have like kids, but I don't. So holidays mean absolutely nothing to me.
Gabe, I feel like your heart is like a little bit too cold there. I think we need to warm it up.
Do we?
Cuddles and cocoa will definitely make you feel in more of the holiday spirit. We have more
Did you
breaking
hear all
news.
Huh?
What's happening here?
Okay, you didn't hear it. That's distracting. Stuff is happening in the background.
The holidays, Gabe. You love them.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so holiday memories, right? I wanted us to talk a little bit about the holidays and maybe our gaming memories from them.
Yeah.
Not necessarily like, whatever else, but
Not like that one time your uncle like tried to force feed you turkey and you ran away and got lost in the woods.
and turkey's fine. It doesn't need to be force fed to me. Also, not a lot of woods in Texas.
Not a lot of uncles either. Or are there a lot of uncles?
I have 8 uncles.
Woo!
8 uncles and 3
That's
aunts. Wait, my math
how
is
do
wrong
you say that word?
What do you mean? Aunts?
Oh, you say aunts.
Well, I say aunts.
I say aunts too.
Yeah, but people think that's weird, so sometimes I sneak in the aunts.
You're trying to be all British and proper, Gabe.
But then aunts sounds like ox. So then what?
Aunts.
No, not like ox as in the animal, but the aughts as in the early 2000s.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
The language is weird, man. That's why we shouldn't even speak. Just text
verbiage.
everyone.
All right, so Zachary, let me tell you about one of my fondest memories. Right.
Go for it. I'm gonna bring the blanket up here so I can really get in the mood.
Let me paint the picture for you. Okay.
Okay. Paint this picture. I'm gonna close my eyes.
The year 2000. Speaking of the early aughts, the game Ocarina of Time on the Nintendo 64 Entertainment System sold separately. Rumble Pack sold separately. Christmas break. I hated school as a kid. As a 10-year-old, I hated school. I used to live directly across the street from the elementary school I used to go to. I used to live with my grandmother.
That's the worst. It's just staring at you all day long.
No, you know what's even worse? The school and the park were connected. They were right next to each other. At that time, there wasn't even a fence separating them, so you could literally just run away from school into the park, Zachary. But no, I ran home. I snuck out of school, like the sneaky little boy I was. I ran into my room. I hid under my bed until my mother went to work. No one else was home. I get out of bed. I bring out my Nintendo 64 Entertainment System, Zachary. I put in that golden cartridge. And boom, Ocarina of Time. No one even knew I didn't go to school, Zach. No one even knew. You're the first soul I've ever told this to. No,
really?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, man. Breaking news. Gabe's a liar and a cheater.
I was.
A terrible child.
Yeah. But yeah, man, that's honestly one of my favorite memories, like growing up. Just the fact that, being rebellious is cool when you're 10 years old. And experiencing...
Pretty brave of you, by the way.
What? I mean, it's not that brave. At 10, do you really understand what consequences are?
I sure did.
I didn't.
Okay.
Especially not because I just wanted to go put that sword in that stone and turn into a little kid and then back into a grown-up Link. Zachary, come on. And we're going to have a nice little callback to the Ocarina of Time here very soon. But yeah, that's one of my favorite memories. And that was happening around Christmas vacation is when that was happening. But yeah, go on.
Gotcha. I'll give a generic and then a specific. A lot of mine are tied around Christmas, but the Thanksgiving break as well. Like when I was younger, I loved traveling around the holidays because that was my chance to really play my handheld games. And I was big into like Game Boy Advance and the original DS and like even my Game Boy Color. And so like being at like relatives' house and getting bored of the relatives and then like going into my room where I was staying and like just like chilling out with Game Boy Advance or playing like I remember when I got like Legend of Zelda Minish Cap for Game Boy Advance. A lot of really classic great games there that were a lot of fun. But the more specific one, always on Christmas morning, even into my teen years, I would wake up super early, like 5 a.m., 6 a.m. because I was so excited for like presents and fun and all that stuff. And I would play games until my family woke up. So it was a good chance to like get a lot of hours in games. And my favorite memory is Mass Effect 1 was out. And
so it's not even that long ago.
That's not even that long ago.
But
and I was up super early, and I knew I was like a decent way through the game. But I
have to cut you off. Was this gangster Zachary with that big shirt? Is this who was doing?
Yeah, I was like a senior in high school or something.
Yeah. So it's that picture that. Yeah. Okay.
No, but that time I was past that phase. I was wearing polo. No, I was still wearing 2 big polos. Anyways,
there you go.
2 as in TOO, not 2 at the same time. Like, man, I got that layered look on fleek. Anyhow, so I powered through the entire ending of Mass Effect, fighting whatever that weird villain's name was. Do you remember his name?
I don't, and I've been thinking a lot about Mass Effect.
I know you have. That's why I thought this was even more perfect to bring up. But I beat the game before people woke up, which was like critical because I was like, there is no way that I'm gonna want to continue this once they're up. So I got to beat it before they wake up, and I did. And you go before the council, and there's all sorts of like great things that happen, and that story made sense back then, and I was super excited for the sequel. What the heck is his name?
Yeah, please find it. It's bothering me now.
It's bothering me too. So anyways, I played it, but I had a lot of those where like I would play games, and like as a kid, like even now, I don't do long gaming sessions, so it stands out even more to me because it was like, man, I played for like 3-4 hours straight, which to me felt like a really long time.
Fun fact, I think I beat Resident Evil 4 in one sitting during like a Christmas break. Like I literally just sat there and like played Resident Evil until I finished it.
I can't do that. I wish I could. I see people be like, man, I just played 8 hours of Fallout. I'm like, how did you not die? Saren was his name.
Saren, yes.
And he was he's the same thing that Garrus is.
Yeah, he's the same thing as Garrus.
It's a Turian, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So that is one of my favorites. Definitely let us know, and we'll talk about more of these throughout the weeks. But let us know via email, can'tstopasking@gmail.com, if you have more holiday memories. We definitely want to hear them, and we'll read some of our favorites on the upcoming shows. And just to address that briefly, we are going to do a big Game of the Year show. We're going to try to have people come in and tell you their Game of the Year.
I'm going to put you on the spot here, Zachary. I know how you love being put on the spot.
I do.
People keep saying, hey, why don't you do the dumb podcast live? Just do it live. Let us watch live. I was thinking, I don't want to do our show live every week. Absolutely not.
No.
But maybe we can do the Game of the Year one live so people can see our arguments. And I can't, I mean, obviously we can't promise it, but it's definitely a thought. Let us know, guys, if we get enough support and enough requests, and then maybe we would consider it. But it's possible. People keep saying just do one live. I mean, we're like, I got to talk to Zach about it. I'm not the guy. Zach's the guy.
We definitely could. And I'm really excited for the Game of the Year thing. One, because I love talking about that stuff. I always have since I was little, even if I wasn't doing a podcast or whatever. And I'm excited to force Gabe to make a list.
Yeah, and I hate making lists.
So that's going to, if you want some real entertainment, Gabe is going to probably curl up in the fetal position and just wheeze for a long time.
Yeah. I'm the anti-Santa.
As you lay there.
I don't check the list. I don't check it twice.
No list. Lightning round, Gabriel.
Yes.
We have some lightning rounds sent in. This one is called Lightning Round Life is Strange Edition by Spinning Mantis, a regular emailer. I'm not really sure why it's called Life is Strange Edition, but he's going to explain it to us. One day, you mysteriously discover that you have the ability to rewind time. That's why it's called Life is Strange Edition.
Perfect.
Do you? And then we've got some different categories here.
All right.
The first one is visit. Ancient Rome, ancient Egypt, or ancient China?
Ancient Rome.
And why?
God, I don't know, because I don't want to go to China, and the Egyptians would probably scare me.
I say ancient Egypt because I want to go in those pyramids and see what kind of Illuminati stuff they got going on.
Nah, I'm cool. No pyramids for me.
Okay. Do you want to meet Jesus, Muhammad, or Buddha?
Which one of those is like confirmed to be real? Buddha, right? Buddha?
Well, just you have to pick, mythical or not.
Buddha.
Me too. I want to get a selfie with Buddha.
Yeah, I want to rub his belly, and he can rub my belly, and then he
can
can rub my beard, and I can rub his head. Done.
Do you want to romance Betty Page? I don't even know who that is.
Betty Page?
Yeah, you know that is.
You mean Ellen Page?
No, Betty Page. I'm about to look this up.
Are they talking about Page from Fallout?
No, Betty Page. She's an American model who gained a significant profile in the 1950s for her pinup photos.
Okay. Never heard of her.
Marilyn Monroe.
Okay.
Or Aaliyah.
Marilyn Monroe. I don't want to get into why, but Marilyn Monroe.
Oh, there's some secret story behind this.
Well, no, there's something that I don't want to say because it made me seem like a jerk. Well, one of them I don't even know who she is, so I can't pick her.
Okay, I get where you're going with this.
Yeah.
I'll say the same as you, sure. Okay, I don't even want to address this one, but I'm going to read it just because he posted. We're not going to answer it because we're not about that life. Okay. Kill Osama bin Laden, Hitler, or Jeffrey Dahmer?
I'm not killing anyone.
Okay, me neither. Save Abraham Lincoln, Martin Luther King, or Tupac?
Wait, Abe Lincoln, who?
Martin Luther King Jr. or Tupac?
I think the right answer is Martin Luther King, but I kind of want to say Tupac.
I like him.
Yeah, but I think
Abraham Lincoln was really old anyways, or pretty old.
I don't like Tupac's music, but he would have been a hoodlum. No.
Tupac is still alive. He's 50 Cent.
Is he?
I read that like this long story once about how like Tupac got all his plastic surgery and he's really 50 Cent. It's complete BS, but yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So that was a good one. Thanks, Spinning Manus. And Eric wrote in. He said, "Please allow me to redeem myself from last lightning round," because we made fun of his lightning round, which wasn't very nice of us. But hey, he's here redeeming himself, and he's got a good one. Okay, this is interesting.
Redemption at its best. It's like
I planned for this to be my lightning round submission, but this was too long. But I hope you do it anyways and find it amusing. Please pick from the following, and then you get to put them in the little story at the end. So we have to pick a bunch of different things, and then we're going to put it in a story. So you're going to go first, okay?
Okay.
First, you have to pick a type of game: 3D platformer, FPS, open world, or Metroidvania.
Metroidvania.
Second, pick the setting: fantasy world, alien planet, ancient ruin, cyberspace.
Cyberspace.
Then you have to pick a villain: an evil hamster king, anthropomorphic teddy bears, an evil knight from an alternate future, or Paul, who is some guy.
Paul, who is some guy.
Pick the villain's motivation. He wants to destroy everything. He wants all the universe's candy bars. He's looking for a way to bring someone close back to life, or he's trying to create peace by being the ultimate evil.
Trying to bring someone close back to life.
Pick your power: crazy gadgets, the ability to shrink, time manipulation, or super speed.
Time manipulation.
All right, so here's the story. Join Gabe in the Metroidvania of the century as you explore cyberspace and help stop the evil Paul and save the day. Use your wit and time manipulation to defeat the enemies that will try and stop you along the way. Stop Paul from fulfilling his desire to bring someone close back to life.
I like this. Good job.
All right, my turn.
He made up for it.
I think this is pretty cool. So I'm going to go through it really quick. I pick 3D platformer in an alien planet with an evil knight from alternate future who wants to destroy everything, and my power is crazy gadgets. So it'd be join Zach in the 3D platformer of the century as you explore an alien planet and help stop the evil. Help stop the evil knight from an alternate future and save the day. Use your wit and your crazy gadgets to defeat the enemies that will try and stop you along the way. Stop this evil knight from fulfilling his desire to destroy everything. I thought that was very good. I want to give him like a golf clap.
Slow clap. A slow silent clap. But
you're Thanksgiving's true angel.
Zachary.
Yeah.
One more musical interlude before we have our meal.
I'm excited for this one. This is what I've been waiting for. I need your music, babe. And welcome to emails. Can't stop asking at gmail.com.
It's Navi. I love Navi.
To be asked. I love that interlude.
Yeah.
I felt like I was on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and then all of a sudden I started playing Zelda. It was just like the best combo ever. I was like, hey, Will Smith. And I was like, oh, hey, Princess Zelda.
Exactly. This is a story all about how.
Okay.
My life got twisted upside down.
What?
You want to take a minute and just sit right there?
Okay.
I don't want to tell you a story of a prince from a town called Bel-Air. No. This is not the time.
Okay. I was like seriously like confused for saying emails. We like them. You got them. Keep sending them. It's the holidays. We know you got Christmas shopping to do. So ask us if you want gift advice. We're here for you.
Ask for a pony.
We know we've gotten pretty much every present that you could possibly get, so we know what's good and what's not. This is from Matt, and Matt writes in saying, "What's up, Minuteman Gabe?" I'm not sure why you're Minuteman Gabe. Oh, Fallout.
Yeah.
Synth Robo.
Yes.
My name is Matt, and I'm a huge fan of the podcast. I've been watching Ghost Robo for 4 years, ever since I was a sophomore in college. This lovely podcast has introduced me to the fantastic Volatile Gabe, who's killing it with his Fallout walkthrough. Ooh,
Thank
look at you. Anyway, after a year and a half of application rejections, I was finally accepted in medical school this week. I couldn't be happier, but I'm definitely aware that this is the start of a difficult journey. As individuals who are truly dedicated to their passion, do you have any advice that will help me as a future medical student?
Make sure you have a steady hand. I think doctors need steady hands.
That's a good one. Don't fall asleep on the job.
Yeah. First of all, I
hope you play a lot of Trauma Center. Have you ever played Trauma Center?
Is that a game?
On the Wii or the DS?
Nope.
Great game.
Let me tell this guy how proud I am of him.
Oh, yeah. Little moment of pride. Do we have a musical interlude for, like, we're proud of you?
No, I only had those three.
Yeah, we need, like, a we are so proud of you song. It's like, we are so proud of you. We are so proud of you. So proud of you. So proud. And then, like, it's like, aw, and everyone hugs at the end.
Okay, I'll start working on. This is not it as far as the music goes.
Oh, there's more music.
No. That's it for today. I'm saying there's other stuff
in the future we're just gonna turn into an entirely musical podcast.
No,
we're gonna sing what we've been playing. I've been playing Overwatch.
We should. He's not a musical
You've
podcast
been playing
out there, is he?
Xenoblade. Together we can make a beautiful marmalade.
There you
Cook
go.
with me on Christmas, Gabriel. I will make you fat. You'll feel so full and calm. You'll want to sit on Santa's lap.
There we go.
Or you'll want to wear Santa's hat. It rhymes.
There you go.
Anyways, so yeah, congrats on that. I think yeah, it'll be daunting, but as long as you're passionate about it, it doesn't feel so hard. Like, that's the best part about some of the stuff that we get to do is, granted it's games and it's fun, but there is a bunch of hard work that happens behind the scenes. But as long as you really enjoy it and you're really committed and excited about it, I think it seems far less stressful and far less intimidating and boring than it would be if it was oh, I have to work in the coal mine for another 8 years.
And here's what I was going to say about the whole proud of him. I don't know the guy, so I can't truly be proud of him specifically. But
Sure.
I am proud of any human being that is going to better the world in some way. And I think practicing medicine is a huge help, not just to you, because obviously you'll have a better life. It's just, dumb stuff like financially, you're going to be set up for success as far as that goes.
Yeah.
But not just that, you're helping out other people that may not be as fortunate. People sick every day. We need doctors. Zachary,
Yeah,
I don't know if you know.
Kudos to you, Matt. And here's a follow-up question.
Go.
If we have time. Do we have time?
We have a little bit of time.
Okay.
Go.
So I'm going to read it fast. Guys, since this medical school is 2.5 hours away, this puts my current relationship in a difficult spot. My girlfriend most likely won't be moving with me to this new school, and I would hate to make her compromise her goals by asking her to quit her fantastic job. Seeing as how I could permanently return to my current city during rotations in 2 years, do you think a long-distance relationship in the meantime could work, especially with one of the partners being in med school? The survival rate and satisfaction of long-distance couples or couples with one person in med school are pretty low, let alone both scenarios at once. However, our relationship is phenomenal. We've been together almost 1.5 years, and we get along perfectly while living with each other.
Okay, what I'll say is you got to try. You're not going to just not try. Oh, shit. Sorry, hit the mic. You're not going to just not try, especially because you say their relationship is so fantastic. Things are going to work out the way they're meant to. If for some reason you don't end up with her, I don't think it was ever meant to happen. So don't feel too bad about it. And like you said, you have a strong relationship already, so I don't see why a couple of years of being apart distant ways, it's not even that far. 2.5 hours, you can do that.
Yeah, you can make the weekend drives. And frankly, individuality and strengthening your own futures is only going to help the relationship. You pursuing your medical dream and going through med school, her staying with her fantastic job and not being forced to follow you around, handcuffed.
Yeah.
I think that's actually good for your relationship. And as someone who has done long distance and suffered the insanity of it, as well as the benefits, I'm alive in both scenarios. It was terrible and it's also great. And I'm still here and I'm still perfectly fine and happy. And now I'm in, my ultimate relationship. So I don't think it's that big of a stressor. I wouldn't worry about it. I think the more in your head that you make it out to be really difficult and crazy, the crazier and difficult it'll be. The most important thing is to make sure that there's not a lot of codependency where you're oh my God, I miss you. I can't live without you. You do your medical school thing. She do her job thing. Hang out when you can and realize that if you can't all the time, there's Skype, there's phones, there's letters, there's singing telegrams, and there's also time apart to pursue what you need to pursue. And if she really loves you and you really love her, then that will be important to you as well.
Yeah, and the good thing is that you're away to go become a doctor. You're not not going to Amsterdam for 2 years. It's you're trying to better yourselves to hopefully make both of your lives better eventually.
Sure. So it's a very it's an opportunity to see how short-sighted or goal-oriented your relationship can be, and it will really illuminate a little bit more about the both of you.
Yes.
So that's Dr. Zach and Gabe with their weekly
Congrats on medical school again, by the way.
love advice. Yes. This one comes in from Scott. Hey, Ghostbuster. I don't know how I feel about that. Big Jonah Mava.
Don't know what that is.
Hey, Gabe. I don't even know who that is.
Googled it.
He has a great joke
than me.
Remind me to read this to you after the podcast because it's, yeah. Below is an email that you guys answered for us on September 18th, 2015. We're going back. We're digging back into our time capsule here, Gabe.
Yes.
This guy has preserved this email for us. The podcast is called WTF is Going On? Is it the Apocalypse? And the question discussed and answered was from 1:15 to 1:18:28. He's even got timestamps for us, Gabe.
Okay.
First of all, he says, thanks so much for answering it on the actual podcast. You guys are the best. We are so curious if your answers would be the same now that you've played all the games. Here's what you all had said. The initial question was, what order would you rank the games in if someone could only buy, for people to buy? And so the games were Fallout 4, Battlefront, Tomb Raider, and Call of Duty Black Ops 3. You ranked them in this order. Fallout 4, Star Wars Battlefront, Tomb Raider, and then Black Ops 3, 1 through 4.
That was me?
I ranked them Rise of the Tomb Raider, Black Ops 3, Fallout 4, Star Wars Battlefront. And he asked, would your order be the same now that you play the games? I always think it is good to reflect and see if your thoughts would be the same then and now. I think they're all fun and entertaining games. I've been watching you all play them, and they all have some great content. We would love to hear if you think the same. I like how he says we. He's speaking for the entire audience.
Yeah.
The president of the Can't Stop Playing fan club.
The official president of the official Can't Stop Playing fan club. There you go.
There you go. So he wants to know like if our order would maintain that same like.
Mine's pretty close.
Okay.
I still think it's Fallout on top, but then I think Rise of the Tomb Raider second.
And then Battlefront, and then Black Ops?
Yeah.
Okay, so mine, I said Tomb Raider, Black Ops, Fallout, Battlefront. Tomb Raider is still the top for me.
Surprised about that. I thought you would put maybe Black Ops up there because you praise it so much for being such a big package, and when we're saying what games do we think people should play, like buy.
Well, this is which one. What are you ranking for your? No, okay. The initial question was the order that we would buy them in.
Oh, okay. So is this still the order you'll still be Tomb Raider?
Yeah. So Rise of the Tomb Raider. I think it's the same, but I like putting Battlefront 4 is no slight against the game. It's still a super fun, awesome game. And like, I'm tempted to flip flop Battlefront and Black Ops. I just don't know. It'll take time to really like multiplayer games and Fallout being such a big title. Like it'll take time for me to just decipher and determine like what order they ultimately fall in. But I know for a fact that like, if I could only play one, I'm happy that I'm playing Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
On a side note, do you all feel it is interesting that games are now coming with the case and just code inside? Reading a lot about how this is big companies trying to avoid trade-in, blah, 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 blah.
How?
Do you think that it's like, do you feel like you're getting not what you paid for when you just get a code inside? Even some collector's editions like the Halo 5 one and whatnot and Tomb Raider come with codes and not discs.
I think that's more convenient. I
didn't even realize it, but it is true that has taken off, and it definitely is to limit and kill off the used market.
Yeah, but that's happening a lot in collector's editions. It's not like you go buy Black Ops 3 at GameStop and there's not a disc in it. Like, I think for regular products, it's still discs. I think it's just the collector's editions where, yeah. I don't mind it at all.
Most of my stuff is digital. I do like having the physical disc. I like having the case on the shelf. As long as I've got the case, it's okay. But there's plenty of games now that like Rise of the Tomb Raider, I don't have a disc or case for it at all, which kind of feels weird to me that I have no way to like show off like, ooh, I'm playing Tomb Raider.
Do you need to?
No. Email of the week comes in from Caleb. By the way, all these emails were great, so it was really hard to pick an email of the week, but I'm picking this one because I think it's interesting.
Fantastic.
Hey guys, hope you're doing well. I have a couple questions for you. I'm 22, I work full-time, and I have a 16-month-old son. Mm-hmm. My fiance is also a full-time student. As you could probably guess, I'm pretty busy and have had to cut down a lot on my game time. I've been gaming for almost 20 years now, started off with Mario, Duck Hunt, Contra on the NES. It's a big part of my life. Being tight with money now, I can't afford to get all the new releases. My question is, since my time is so limited, would you recommend single-player or multiplayer games? Single-player is easy to pick up and put down, but sometimes I won't play the game for a while and lose my attachment to the characters, the story, the systems, etc. Multiplayer can be good to pick up and play a couple matches, then be done, but I often get interrupted in AFK, destroying my kill-death ratio. So, what kind of games do we think, and in general, are there any specific games that having a kid, being limited on time, being broken apart a lot, like do we think would be good for him to play?
Okay, first of all, I think gameplayoffer.com. No, I'm joking. I think that'd be good for you.
I do.
Yeah, because you say you don't have a lot of money, your timing is extremely limited. Hey, get these games, play them whenever you can. Right. I'm joking. I mean, unless you really do think it sounds like a good deal, then by all means go for it. But play whatever you have fun with. Don't worry about your KD. That doesn't matter. Like, video games are to have fun. It's not to have who really has the highest KDs. There's always someone out there that's better than you. So just focus on having fun, especially since you have such limited amount of time with these games. You don't want to spend that time worrying about trying to upkeep the highest KD possible. If you prefer playing multiplayer, if you have the most fun doing that, then play multiplayer. If you prefer single player play, like I think you could step away from Fallout for like a solid 4 days and come back and you'll still know what's happening.
My only issue with Fallout is like long play sessions are the only things that I feel really do that game justice. Like if you're gonna play for 20 minutes, you're not gonna get anywhere.
No. Yeah, 20 minutes, that's super limited.
I don't know what systems you have, but I think plenty of Nintendo titles offer kind of what you're looking for. Like Mario, you can play levels, even stuff like Pikmin or trying to look at my stack of games like Splatoon, like stuff like that, where there isn't a whole lot of lore story attachment that like, oh god, you're gonna forget our systems. It's very mechanically driven, and you played a lot of old school Nintendo games, so maybe you already have an affinity for that. I think those would be great titles.
Battlefront.
I think
that's the one.
Battlefront?
Yeah, because there you're not so focused on the KD. Like we're saying, It's okay to just do bad as long as you're helping out the team. I think Battlefront's a great one.
I think Battlefront's good. I think Just Cause 3 maybe get a good choice, since it's a lot more just about like causing chaos and not as much, this big mission or this long storyline or whatnot. That's not out yet, but if you're looking for something new and fun to play. So that's his first question. Second question is, if and when you guys ever have kids, what system will you start them on? My concern is that if I start him on modern games in modern systems, that they'll be dissatisfied by the old school stuff and not want to go back. But if I start old school, there's a lot of ground to cover. Bam.
Yeah. I don't foresee ever having kids, but if I do, I'm giving them Super Nintendo first.
I had this conversation with my girlfriend. We were talking about, like, since I have so many games and so many systems, like, what if I created this epic room and it was just like always locked from the day my kids were born, and then like one day when they're like 8 years old or 9 years old, when you deem them worthy and ready, you're like, you unlock the door and open it up and you're like,
so crazy.
Welcome to the Magic Kingdom, and it's just like all my PS4s, like all the games.
It'll be overbearing.
System.
You can't do
what?
that. Because in practice, that sounds awesome. Like, it sounds like a great idea, but it would be just too overwhelming. Like, where do you even
What,
start?
they just die? They just pass out and be like...
Because you have literally hundreds... You have close to every game available. Like, nah.
Imagine, like, if you came home, though, and, like, you did that, and the next day you went into school, and you're like, guess how many games I have? And on their, like, mind phones, they, like, projected the picture of that room, and their friends were just like, your dad is the coolest.
If I ever have a kid... I'm giving him Super Nintendo, and I'm giving him A Link to the Past, and he can start with that.
Know what I would do? I don't think I have any like attachment to like, start them like on old stuff so they appreciate the new stuff. Like Super Mario World on Super Nintendo, I think that game looks good and is endearing even now. And so if it's the right stuff, I think the era that is really rough and will be rough is PS1 and PS2. I don't have a whole lot of love for that era anyway, so it's okay with me if it's skipped over.
Love for it. I want my kid to eventually play Final Fantasy VII.
Great.
Though it's totally not as great, I want him to play Brave Fencer Musashi, like Legacy of Kain, even though that's not great. Like, I want to experience like a lot of the games that I did.
Next email. Thanks for writing in, by the way, Caleb. Great email. This one's kind of a funny one, but I'll leave it in. This is from David. How do you think I could stop procrastinating so much? I got grounded because I keep putting my schoolwork off, watching too many videos, and playing too many games. Please help.
Just stop watching so many videos and playing too many games and doing schoolwork. It's simple.
Just make a schedule. Hey, reward yourself. I'm not going to watch this video or play this game until I get my stuff done. You got to be disciplined, man. If you want to grow up to be a dictator or a diva or a Detroit Lion, you got to start small.
No. If you want to be a Detroit Lion, keep doing what you're doing. You're on the right path.
Funny, Gabe.
Have some guy named Bob Cooter telling you what to do.
I realized that I really love the Lions. Another reason I love them on top of every other, litany of reasons is because, like, we share a lot in common. We're misunderstood a lot. People don't, like, really believe in us 100%. They don't think, like, we know what we're talking about.
Yeah. We're crazy.
And then one day when we both win the Super Bowl, we're just going to make out in the streets of Detroit.
Yeah.
That's me and the Lions, not you, Gabe. Sorry to get your hopes up. Anyways, last email is from Jacob, not my brother who's sleeping in the basement, but a different one. Hey, Zach, Gabe, and any guests.
I thought the basement was my bedroom.
Do you guys think that licensed games are getting better? Over the past couple of years, we've gotten Alien Isolation, Lord of the Rings Shadow of Mordor, Star Wars Battlefront. Each of these have been pretty strong. And in comparison to old licensed games, where in the past we would get, crap movie tie-ins.
Yeah.
Do you think that they've done a much better job, even including like some of the Lego games, Lego Avengers or Lego Marvel, like tying in properties to games and finding ways to make those games strong on their own?
Yeah. I mean, Batman's, like I mentioned, it's another really strong one.
Yeah,
they're not making those like crap tie-ins anymore. They're really not.
They are. They're just on like 3DS and PC.
Yeah. You remember there was a Batman Begins video game? Do you remember that? That was bad.
I liked a lot of those tie-in games, but like the only one I remember really liking,
Spider-Man
1 and 2 were really good. Yeah. And then like the Harry Potter games were actually okay.
I've never played them.
Have you ever read Harry Potter?
Green Lantern game with the movie. You remember that? Like the Iron Man games? Ugh.
Yeah, then there was like a Captain America one that I played on my channel. Don't know why. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Wolverine X-Men Origins was good.
That one was cool. Yeah, but they seem to be trending upward as far as quality, for sure.
I think because studios are realizing like, hey, these properties are, money bag opportunities. So why not attach it to a good developer and we can kill two birds with one stone, sell a bunch with a pretty good game or a great game and the property, like in the case of Star Wars Battlefront or Shadow of Mordor. It just makes perfect sense. So thank you for sending your emails. Can'tstopasking@gmail.com. We love to get them. Keep them coming, especially over the next few weeks when there aren't a whole lot of new releases. Although we do have Rainbow Six Siege and Just Cause 3 and Bloodborne: The Old Hunters DLC and more Overwatch and
more Xenoblade,
and I may be going to PlayStation Experience, and yeah, so there'll be lots of stuff. But before we wrap up today's show,
yes,
we got to go to Hype City, Gabriel.
Let's do it. Jessica Jones is awesome, by the way, and I know people want me to talk about. I've had a lot of people tell me please talk about Jessica Jones on the podcast. I can't. Zachary hasn't watched a single thing. I'm not going to do that to him. But I loved it. All right, so Hype City now, Zachary. I'm going back to one that I've gone to a few times, and you might not like it. This might be the one for the next few weeks for me. It's Star Wars. It's getting so close. It's getting so close, Zachary.
All right.
Lucy is on vacation.
I bought a Star Wars painting.
Do you have it? Can I see it?
Would you like to see a picture of it?
Sure. Show me while I tell you this. Lucy is on vacation from work. She's a teacher, so the kids get a week off. She gets a week off. She's never seen a Star Wars movie in her life.
Uh-oh.
We already bought her Star Wars tickets. She's actually pretty opposed to Star Wars. She's very anti-Star Wars.
Anti-Star Wars? How can you be anti-Star Wars?
I think it's just that people love it so much.
If you love it, I hate it. I got you.
Well, for just Star Wars in particular, not everything. I wish she better not be like that. But so this week, since she's off, we're going to see all 6 of them, including the terrible ones that Zachary once included in Battlefront for whatever reason.
The ones that are not in Battlefront.
Yeah, we're going to see all 6 of them, probably starting tonight, actually.
That'll be fun. You'll have to let me know how that goes. You'll have to update us in the next podcast. Anyways, this was part of Star Wars Art Awakens auction, and they gave 55% of the money to charity. So I felt extra good about the paying for this painting. It was very expensive, but I feel okay because again, 55% goes to charity. I'm trying to find a picture of it because I was very impressed.
Yeah. Meanwhile, give us your Hype City if you got it.
This is my Hype City.
No, I'm saying while you look for it, give us your Hype City.
My Hype City is movies this week.
Yeah,
going to see The Good Dinosaur. Going to see Creed. Going to see hopefully. Hunger Games as well, and I hope they're all good. I especially The Good Dinosaur. I've put so much of my heart into that movie that if it doesn't give it back, I'm going to feel betrayed by the entire prehistoric time period. I'm also, my other Hype City is I'm going to visit my girlfriend's family for the first time.
Look at you.
And I'm very excited for that.
That's awesome.
And I'm looking for this amazing picture.
You can show it to me off podcast. It's okay.
No, I need to show everyone.
Oh, okay.
It's a wood painting.
Ooh, okay.
Not painted with wood, painted on wood.
It's on,
mind you.
On like mahogany or something. Cedar.
No, I don't think it's on cedar or mahogany. Although that would be nice. If it was that size, I should use it as a kitchen table. It's gonna eat off this thing.
Yeah.
Where is the picture I want? I'm trying to find a specific one.
Just show us anyone. It's fantastic radio.
Here it is. Okay. So, it's a picture of all the villains from Star Wars. Vader, Kylo Ren, Darth Maul, Grievous.
How big is that?
Lightsabers and everything. I believe it's like... Gosh, I'm going to have to find the exact dimensions. Here it is.
Well, you don't have to. I'm just saying it looks big.
I do have to find it. I have to! It is 15 by 30, oil on a wood panel.
What kind of wood?
I feel like this is my first,
Maple?
Adult purchase because I'm purchasing it knowing it's going to get hung up in my future apartment/house in California. So I'm like, I'm getting this for my a set piece of my abode, my humble abode.
Awesome.
Made of cloth and hay. Guys and girls, that's the podcast for the week. Thanks for participating in our escapade. We hope that you had a good Thanksgiving because it's already passed now that it's Friday. Actually, random decision of the week, Gabe. We're putting this up early.
Are we?
For all the people that hate their family or just hate turkey or love their family but had too much of them, we're going to post this early so that you can listen to it while everyone else is talking about that time that they tripped you and you fell in the pool, that time that the bird pooped on your face as you walked across the street and your grandma said it was good luck, that time that
maybe
you had
you're crazy
way too
and
much
you're standing
turkey.
in line for Black Friday. Terrible.
You're waiting in
decision.
line for Black Friday, which I hope you don't do because Amazon.com matches everything and it's way easier and way smarter and way faster and way cheaper.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to put it up early. So anyways, hope you're having a good Thanksgiving as you listen and watch this illustrious cast.
Please be safe out there.
Be safe. That's,
You know.
Is Thanksgiving a dangerous holiday?
People drink on all occasions. And if you guys drink, don't drink and drive. Just be careful. Be loving. Hug a family member. Hug a friend. And just be safe.
And if you want to write us in some things you're thankful for, we will be reading those next podcast too. Because Gabe, that's something next week. We're going to come up with a list of 10 things we're thankful for in 2015.
I'll do it. Zach, you're on 9 of them, and then I don't know.
I'm all 9 of them.
No,
and then Lucy gets one.
I'm going to save one for Jessica
Lucy.
Jones or something.
Oh, for Jessica Jones. Yeah, forget your wife. She doesn't need to be included.
Nah, had her. But yeah, no, that's it. Goodbye.
Thanks for the music, Gabe. You did a good job. I liked it.
I'm going to play us out. You want to
Guys and girls, thanks so much for watching. Now you get here it is. Here it comes. We love you. Thanks for listening.
Like this one.
Have a good holiday. Undertaker? The Haunted Mansion? Gotta love the coin at the end. That was good. We're done.
Yeah.